Hello, I'm going to design a CNC for cutting wood or engraving wood, uh, wood router with this kind of stuff. The tool that will be cut is a router. Lead screw, dual VS slot, open build, the steel version. There are some POM version, and I do not think it will be anything good. It will wear out very soon, and especially because this aluminum extrusion is not actually made for this kind of wheel. It's TS slot. I don't know if you can see the T slot. It has a almost right angle uh, for for a slot, and it's not a V angle. It's not a standard V angle open bit. And by the way, this is a 10 millimeter slot. These wheels cannot work with them. They are stronger, but they are way open, and the wheel cannot do anything good in that. It is stick the ball bearing itself, not this surface. And this is 6 millimeter slot. They usually use this for making 3D printers with POM wheels. It also is TS slot. It's not good enough either. I can use this steel wheel for that, but for this tool 6 millimeter slot is not strong enough, I think. 8 millimeters is better. You can put it in there. It's too long. You can actually put the wheel on it. It also is T slot, but if you can see, it doesn't really matter. A steel wheel will make its own path. And if this screw get a little larger because of wear and tear, you can always make the wheel a little bit tighter, and it will be okay, hopefully. Because I can't find 8 millimeter VS slot. And for driving this CNC move axis, I will use 23 and stepper motor. The only thing important is these holes and diameter of this shaft. You can find cheap usage of this driver from old copy machines or anything. You can make it, they are very cheap. You can get a bigger one. For the controller, and actually the cheapest way is to use an arduino Uno with a CNC shield. And what's good about this is it can handle can you see that 36 volt, 12 to 36 volt, and it will be very more torquey and more powerful with higher voltage. I'm gonna use it with 36, and you will need some sort of 5 volt for the Arduino itself. I'll figure it out later. For driver, you can use this chip driver, and they are powerful enough. They can handle up to about 2 ampere, and and on my experience, it's well enough, and well on the 36 volt, of course, for running such a small head. Other things I will use is a 3D printer for some things like gears and metal laser cut for making brackets. The cheap lasers are not so good. It was cut with an old and weak metal laser. It's 2 mm. It's still usable up to 2 mm. In 4 mm, it's pretty good, and it make a 1 mm slot pretty good, but it can't make that hole. The screw I will use are most of them 5, 4, and 3 for M3 for something. I have built GT2 built 10 mm wide and lead screw. The problem with this lead screw is it had backlash, and whatever you do, you will not get rid of that. And that little backlash is enough to break so many milling bits that you eventually give up. These are weaker, but if you want to be cheaper than ball screw, the only thing you can get it without backlash is this belt. It has some reinforced steel wire in it, if you can see. It will not be so strong, but for cutting wood it will do the job. They make a CNC out of 6 mm of this belt, and when you increase the weight, it will be almost 12, more than 2 times of the weight here. 12 mm belt is more than 2 times stronger than 6 mm. I think this 10 mm will do the job. Actually, you can't tear this reinforced belt with the power of this stepper, so it will be good. And with this kind of stuff, I can make I can design the CNC in different ways, depend on what size it will be, how long will be Z, and what I will cut with it. And by the way, it's a linear bearing, it's used, and 12 mm shaft. The cheap one is usable actually. Can you hear it? they are still have something, but it's not good. The linear bearing should not rotate this way, but it's still usable. And this kind of housing, I will use it for some part of the design. The when you put this aside, this material, you can make a CNC 3D printer, plasma cutter, or everything. You can make the tool move in 3 different axes to move a tool, and whatever you want to use as a tool. It can be a laser cutter, plasma cutter, a router, or a print head. And if I make a system of these things, design these things in a way that can satisfy every of these needs, it will change the shape and size of that CNC machine.